Blitz Skirmish Season 7 starts this weekend, and there are over 1,000, you heard that right, folks, 1,000 Living Legend points available. So who's positioned to do well, and with the new sideboarding rules for this season, how does that change things? Well, let's chat, baby. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. Thanks for checking in, and happy Skirmish Season 7, I suppose. It's probably underway, not probably, almost certainly underway in certain parts of the world. Points are starting to get logged, and I want to talk this season. It's going to be very interesting because of not just the LL situation, how many points are available, but we got the sideboarding thing going on, which I believe is going to spread those points around. Now, I had an earlier video. It was a prep for this one. Actually, I was like, whoa, that's a lot of points available. Talking about how it may be a bloodbath for Living Legend Ascensions. Because, hey, there's a lot going on in this season. It's a short season. It's going to be interesting. So I'm very much looking forward to tracking this as it goes through the whole thing. So let's just out of the gate, let's start with kind of what the season looks like. So there are 870 total skirmish events listed in Gem for this season. 518 of those are Blitz skirmishes, which means at 2 points per skirmish, there's 1,036 total points available. Again, that's as of what's listed in Gem prior to season start. If stuff sneaks up or whatever, I can't account for that. But that's the minimum, right? It can only get better from there, or higher from there, I should say. So that's what we're going to use for our calculations overall. Now, that's a lot of points. Okay, so as I mentioned with the sideboarding thing going on, the sideboarding thing will naturally, you're going to sideboard for the folks that you think you're going to run up against, right? That's the way it works. So, really the way it works is that means that your points are going to shift from the bigger heroes, or like your Kanos and stuff like that, at least on paper, should shift from your Kanos, your Kassais, your Chanes, your Prisms, into the rest of the field, which means that, your tier 0 heroes, your tier S heroes, whatever the kids call them these days, they're still going to get more of the points, but your tier 1 heroes, whatever you call them, tier A heroes, whatever, they're basically better positioned to get more points. So we could have a very interesting situation. So let's go ahead and throw up the spreadsheet that, yes, is, for those of you who are familiar, we will maintain as we go through the season. We'll do one update every week as we get the points updates, assuming we can get them. So this is what it looks like right now. And you see there's a lot of columns over there, but we have the number of points they have now, the number of wins the number of points they need, the number of wins that correlates to, and then the percentage of wins needed in order for them to hit LL status. Now, of course, the obvious disclaimer of you don't stop accumulating points when you hit 500. You can keep going after that. That said, we look at Kano, for example. He needs 82 skirmish wins, which correlates to roughly 16%, 15.7, roughly 16% of the wins this season. I think it's almost certain, given how strong he is in the format, that Kano is gone after the season. I can't see that not happening. Second place is Ira. I don't have a lot of confidence in Ira. Now, Drone, I think, did help Ira overall because it kind of fits into her thing, but she hasn't really earned very many points. The reason Ira is as high as she is because she got all those points like way back in the day in the Wayback Machine, and she hasn't been doing super great in the last 2 seasons. So I don't have huge confidence in her. We'll see if, again, there's some very strong players out there that are Ninja Truthers, Ira Truthers, so we'll see what they can do. But I'm not super confident she's going to make it. In third place is Kassai. Very, very, very strong hero, especially post Everfest, Blood on her hands. Needs 21.2% of the wins. I think she's going to be the close call. That's my call. And maybe I'm biased on that because I'm hoping to get another season out of her. So I think she's going to be the close call on that. After that, we have Dorinthea at 22.1%. Again, again, just to put in perspective, a lot of Dorinthea's points came early because, blocking's hard and reprise and all that. So I don't think Dorinthea makes it, because I think also a lot of the Dorinthea players are shifting into Quicksilver, who is a very similar, like Kassai-ish build, obviously with a higher cost curve. You can do some pretty nasty things, and like glistening is pretty gross, like if you get counters on. So I think Dorinthea doesn't gain a bunch. Briar, I'm not worried about, but let's talk Chane. Now, Chane does need 30%, so he would have to win basically a third of the events. Prior to the sideboarding rules, I think that was doable, but given that folks can now sit down, right, under the Skirmish 7 sideboarding rules, given that folks can sit down with more than 40 cards in their deck, I think probably he doesn't, right? Because, and again, he can sit down with more in his deck too. I get it. Maybe gives him an extra turn, which is completely fair. So maybe I'm wrong in my projection. Let me know in the comments. That's fair. But I don't think that optimizes him, and I don't think that makes him work as well. So I think Chane probably doesn't make it this season, is my thought. That's just my call. I think Chane's probably around for another season. After that, I Dash is always good in this. Ever since Teklo Pounder came out, she's very strong. I don't see Dash not winning events and doing okay. But if you look at last season, it was just okay. Probably underperformed where we thought she was going to. And again, needs 33% of the events to take it down. Well, 31.8, roughly a third. I don't think that's going to happen. The one I do think has gotten better is Prism. So Prism there at number 10 needs 38%. So will Prism win 40%? Well, 38%? Probably not. But man, Prism got gross. Got absolutely gross. And then to that, let's go all the way down on the list. The new Prism is pretty gross because of Luminaris. The new Prism's pretty good. I don't think New Prism stands a chance without Luminaris. I think that's why people can't figure out what to do with her in CC. But that's not the problem right now in Blitz. She still has Luminaris, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So again, is she going to go 0 to hero? I mean, it could happen. The math's there. Like, the points are there to make it happen. But I don't think realistically, with how strong Kano is, that's going to happen. But, I'd love it. I think it would actually be pretty awesome. And like awesome in a bad way, but awesome in its own way, if Prism was able to go 0 to hero. Like, that'd be pretty cool, right? But I don't think it's gonna happen. And then one of my calls for kind of a sleeper, I do think Bravo, with picking up Starstruck, it's another tool, right? That's a real good card. Bravo is always just there. I don't know, maybe I'm just believing in my heart, but like, I think Bravo could do very well. Is he going to do 33% well? I think no. So realistically, when we're looking at the Bloodbath, I think in, kind of countering what I said before, the math of the Bloodbath is there, but I don't think the Bloodbath is coming this season. I think it's coming probably next season, because I think you're going to see a lot of heroes. Again, I think you're going to see that with the sideboarding and stuff, I think you're going to see a lot of peanut buttering. And a lot of heroes are going to get like within striking distance, and then just mathematically will get carried across the line probably in spring of 2024. That's my projection on it. Another one I really want to call attention. Last one I'll really call attention to. Actually, there's two. ASC. You all know that I've put a lot of effort into ASC. I really like playing him. He's super fun. I think ASC is going to get points. Obviously, he's not going to get 48% of the points that he needs, but ASC is going to get points this season. It's going to happen. People figured out how to play him. He's really good. He's like really good. He can even beat Prism if he just goes full aggro. And I say that because it's a bad matchup for him. It's really good. So I think he gets some, and folks have definitely figured out how to play Emperor. That's no secret. There are several different Emperor builds out there, but if you go lower than 6 health versus Emperor, like, sayonara. So Emperor and ASC are going to pull some of those field of points. I'm not even going to sit here and try and project, but like percentages view. That's not where I'm going with this, but they're absolutely going to pull stuff. You know, what will be interesting to see out of this overall are the brutes. I think people will show up and try to do stuff with Levia. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm sorry. I just really don't know to make a projection there. And I think it's, you know, if you go back and look at the old stuff and last season, Rhinar underperformed. I think collectively the community thought Rhinar was going to do better than he did, and he didn't. And I don't think he got some stuff, but I don't think it makes a big enough difference with what Prism got to kind of offset all of that. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Again, like I said, we'll keep the table updated as we go through the season and as we get the updates and the points. Last season, at least, LSS did a great job kind of on like Monday night, Tuesday morning of updating where the points were at from the reported weekend tournaments or the reported week's tournaments. Was really cool. So I will update on those as we can and track them going forward. But for certain, Kano's gone, which actually it's an interesting comment on Wizards and Blitz, right? I mean, and Stormstriders, and I don't think it was an accident that they banned Stormstriders temporarily during Worlds to stop the quote-unquote looking bad on camera, right? So we'll see how that fits in at your locals, but at least after all this, and then the cries can become for new Wizard and Blitz win, right? But for sure, he's gone. 15%, it's way doable with how strong he is in the format, no question there. Will my girl Kassai? Maybe. I'm hoping not. I'm thinking not, but there's a lot of points available. So anyway, folks, that'll do it for today. Again, I want to wish everyone the best during Skirmish season, especially my Kassai players. Do well, just don't do too well, so we can play her one more time, at least, almost certainly one more time, if not this time, next time. But anyway, folks, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you're thinking about Skirmish below. Actually, below, let me know if you made it this far, which, whatever, you're 12 minutes in. If you made it this far, let me know what you're playing this weekend or the weekend after or whatever it may be. So looking forward to that. Let's get the conversation started. And if nothing else, folks, go Commando.